All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you right. We are back in the rock cave after a short trip up to the Adirondack Mountains. Hope you're all doing well today. For most of us, this is a holiday, so hope you're enjoying your day, whatever you're doing. What are we talking about today? Well, 4.5 hours in the car, you hear a lot of music, and that usually stirs up some discussion in my car. I don't know about you, but this song came on, this iconic song came on, and I started talking to my wife Sara about this, and it wasn't the version that we wanted to hear or particularly like hearing. So let's talk about that for a minute. But we are going back and talking about Turn the Page by Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. What an epic, iconic song, right? But they played a different version, and it was the second time I heard this version in the last couple of weeks, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "What's going on here? This is not right." So there's basically the 1973 radio version of this song, and you know it when you hear it because it sounds different. It doesn't sound like the one that you love, and that's because that's the studio track from the album back in '72, and that was released, and it didn't chart. Didn't go anywhere, and nothing happened. The song, of course, is about traveling on the road, like so many rock bands are able to write about. You got Wheel in the Sky or Faithfully, right, from Journey. You got songs like that. And based on a true story. They pulled into a truck stop or to a rest area, and people were staring at them with their long hair. And that line, "Is that a woman or a man?" That's exactly where he came up with that line. So that is based on a true story. So fast forward into 75 or so, when they released Live Bullet. Remember, Live Bullet is the one that really put them on the map. They were really big in Michigan and that whole area there, but for whatever reason, the live music scene in the mid to late 70s was pretty big, and they put out Live Bullet, and that just was massive record. And so that version of that song is what we're all used to hearing. That's what rock radio picked up on and played ever since. And that's the one that introduced me to the song, and I didn't even know there was another version for years and years and years and years. That version is just so much better. The studio version is kind of lackluster. The saxophone sounds like it's being played in a closet in the other room. His vocals are kind of muted and kind of just not, there's no energy there. And then you're really waiting for it to pick up, and it just never does. Then you get this live version where, funny enough, it's a song about life on the road, and it turns out that a live version of it is the best version, and that's where the saxophone is right out front, and his vocals build up. You can feel that emotion in there, out there in the spotlight. I mean, it's amazing, right? What a great song. I mean, that just still gives me chills to this day. I love this song. So then we got to talking about not only, well, really, what songs is the live version, the version that you first heard, or the version that is the predominant version, and also where the original version is probably not as good. So you got to think about that for a minute. A lot of songs have live versions that you're okay with, and maybe you like the studio version better, or you feel the same. But how about significantly better live? Of course, comes to mind Peter Frampton Comes Alive, of course, was a huge record. You could pick 3 songs off that record, but Show Me the Way obviously is the one they play live, and that one got a lot of attention. But was that one significantly better than the studio version? And how about Blue Oyster Cult? That one for me, the first time I ever heard Godzilla was from Some Enchanted Evening live. I didn't even know there was a studio version. I heard a lot of songs off that record for the first time, and that was the record I played. I didn't play the other versions. I played that version of Godzilla, which there's a TV mix, there's the regular mix. I mean, there's a bunch of different mixes on there, but that's the one that I like best. But I'm also good with the original studio, so it's not the same as Bob Seger. Other songs on that record, ETI and We Gotta Get Out of This Place, funny enough, from the Animals. First time I ever heard that song was from Blue Oyster Cult. Those are live versions that I like better than the studio version. But those are deep cuts. How about Talking Heads, Burning Down the House? Great live version. Stop Making Sense, of course, one of my favorite records of all time. But is it better than the studio? I don't think it's necessarily better. I mean, I grew up on that video on MTV, which was the studio version. Great version. I'm happy with both. Same thing on that record. Girlfriend is better. I prefer the live version, but that's, again, a deep cut. I don't usually listen to the studio version. And Naive, This Must Be the Place, also live version. I don't listen to the studio version. What else we got out there? Well, I have a whole list, but I'm not going to do it all. So that's your job today. You're going to tell me what songs you like better live, significantly better than the studio version, or the only version that you even remember hearing, or that you grew up with, or whatever it is. That's your task for this day today. All right? So, song of the day. Great song. Turn the Page, Bob Seger, live Bullet. Enjoy it. Have a great day. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.